Welcome back to a brand new Civ 6. Big Pharma might label it as a Civilization 6 video before marking up the price 10 times its purchasing value and selling it to you, excuse me. But we're back at it again. This time we are going to be going for a little bit of a unique challenge, I would personally say. Haven't seen it done before. Prometheus might have given man fire, but I'm about to manufacture it with the mouse and keyboard over here. We have about 20 turns to win a domination victory, although there is some masturbation going on here. I'm not actually going to start from turn 1. In fact, I have everything set up so I get astrology for the religion, and I'm going to beeline hippodromes as well as dogmas. By the time I research divine right, that is when the timer will start, and I'll have 20 turns to take out the 5 other Civ capitals before time runs out. If I do it, congrats. If I don't do it, I guess I'll throw myself into a wood chipper or something. But we are, of course, playing Byzantium for a multitude of reasons. Number one, he probably has the best domination ability for this type of challenge, giving him taxis, phrasing that would make your furniture levitate up there, and then, of course, the dogma, incredible abilities along with the hippodrome, allowing you to build dogmas without any strategic resource cost. Again, the logistics of that is a little bit questionable, but overall it's extremely strong. Basil himself does look like he just got done snorting jet fuel and has the Gatorade symbol when it comes to his time left on Earth, I suppose. Seriously, it looks like if you jack him off for more than a few seconds, the only thing that'll come out is a little flag that says bang and a puff of smoke. But I did pick Basil also because I need to be in peak physical and mental condition, so of course I have to make sure that certain civs aren't in the game, like Theodora, which I could easily counter. And, again, if anything like that happens, I don't want the blood going straight to my nether regions and reforming the Washington Monument as a new world wonder or something. We are going to go double slinger into monument and probably a scout. I feel dirty just thinking about building that scout, but we are going to have to find where every civ is located, just so our strategy can hopefully work. And, yeah, it's pretty much the game plan as we meet two city-states. Immediately, they are taking up some prime real estate, except for Singapore. That is not exactly the best choice of a first city, although you are a city-state, so wouldn't expect much more out of an NPC than that. We got a free builder unit from the tribal village. That's about to be sensational. That's kind of a lie, actually, considering I have about as much technological development as North Korea since the 1950s, so there's that, I suppose. Hopefully this game turns out well, and instead of me being worried about the enemy civs, I'm instead the one instilling fear into them, forcing them to put in their butt plugs at night to ensure that even if I look in through the okay, well, I probably shouldn't joke about that now that I think about it. Else I'll be in another Rise of Kingdoms commercial. What do you mean I can't assault the child? I have 20 million power of Rise of Kingdoms as we get to the one civ who looks like he snorted jet fuel in his free time. What's up, Simon Bolivar? This may prove to be a little... Oh, well, even better, I get an active volcano causing mayhem in Constantinople the second I build a scout. Is that a sign? Almost definitely. If you build a scout, you may as well be my biggest stop, which is kind of weird considering I'm my biggest stop at this point. Don't know if a travel arrangement to the Golden Gate Bridge is in order, as Chin-Chi Wang, your beard kind of looks... Well, I'm not sure it's necessarily following the laws of physics as set out by Isaac Newton, so it's definitely a scientific experiment we're going to have to conduct, as China's just essentially put their ball sacks right in front of my face. They're probably going to end up being my prime target. Although, again, we are going to have to meet every other civ as Grand Columbia decides to call me a racial slur. Although, considering I'm a white Eastern European, I think he just said cracker or something. But yeah, we get Code of Laws, we'll go Discipline, we'll go God King to get that free Pantheon. And I completely forgot that a holy site is going to be, well, preferable for the most part, so I guess we'll put it there instead of the campus, and I guess it's fuck the campus, actually. We just go ahead and put it over there now that I think about it, but we do need that holy site. We get 40 gold out of that tribal village before... I guess hitting next turn instead of making full use of my scout's movement points. I always love when that happens. There's Grand Columbia's land, meaning I already have prime information on where the first two of my targets will be, which is fantastic, aside from the fact that, considering I'll have about 20 turns, everyone's going to be my target. But we will get to that strategy soon enough and how exactly I'm going to be completing this strat, as I love to see that the Temple of Artemis's icon has been updated to its IRL state as of this moment. It's either that or the Colossus, but I'm fairly certain both of them are just completely gone at this point. Go irrigation, we'll go all that good stuff as we get to the city of Gyok, Aquil. Again, when it comes to pronunciations, I am an absolute menace to society right now. If it ever gets to the point in the future where it's illegal to mispronounce a word, then I'm getting at least 50 to life for a triple felony or some shit. Be able to share the same prison cell with Donald J. Trump. That phrase alone probably made half of my subscribers unsubscribe at that point, judging by demographics, but good news is we meet Coupe. Maybe I could commit genocides on some natives and I'll get some more subscribers from the cultured among us. We'll go ahead and move our slinger, as it does seem that barbarian encampment is in prime thrusting range. Gonna have to delete it before it does decide to go for my butthole like it's the last cheeseburger on Earth, and it is an American. The problem is the fact that Coupe, of course, his capital, is nowhere to be found on the Earth. If I didn't know any better, I'd half expect him to be playing Civilization Beyond Earth at this point, as this scout is doing its scoutly duty and making sure it dies before it fulfills its objectives. There's the city-state of Cardiff. There is Coupe's butt plug. I'm gonna go ahead and not join in on that threesome they just offered me. We'll go ahead and bring in... Nope, I thought that was my warrior for some reason. Well, if Grand Columbia does decide to come after me, there's little I can do to stop them. Good news is there's only a slinger in that encampment, so you have about as much chance of stopping me as North Korea does. Well, pretty much everybody, I guess. I mean, looking at how they're... The fact that they can't eat, it's going to make it extremely difficult to survive a siege. Although, well, I suppose if you're used to not eating, then you just... don't need as much food. I'm not necessarily sure how a siege of Pyongyang would go about, as the one combat strength slinger gets absolutely ruptured. We'll keep this warrior fortified as Grand Columbia's military is looking submissive, and I have no idea why this scout is up here, if I'm being completely honest. I completely forgot I also have to get a holy site, because if I don't find a religion, I'm pretty much fucked. The good news is, it seems like we are in a very atheist game at this point. We get the CCP in charge of China. I think they prosecute religion. The Maui over here don't seem too religious. Grand Columbia seems like they're much more worried about... Well, considering they're dead, they probably don't have too much more to be worried about, but we will go ahead and get the holy site immediately. Lock that bad boy in there, and I think we'll actually probably finish that first. Though considering my acute lack of military strength, I'm fairly certain that Qin Shi Huang as well as Simon Bolivar could just go Shaq and Kobe on my ass. But over here, we're just going to probably stay fortified. I will disperse the clan to get the era score. Judging by that, we might even have a potential for a golden age as we get the, Well, that's another spell you'd find in Hogwarts Legacy. I wonder if saying that alone will be enough to get my Twitter canceled. Hopefully not. We'll start moving this scout down south to sort of peruse what the rest of the map has to offer. But I do sort of know where a few of the civs were, although considering that we only have two, I guess, reasonable locations for capitals, it might be a little more difficult than I thought. Fertility rates might be good, although I think probably going for something such as Divine Spark might be a little better just to get the, just so we can get 3 great profit points after we finish the holy site. And then hopefully we'll be able to make enough faith and get a golden age in order to start faith buying settlers in the next era, because we're going to need a lot of them. Again, the strategy is going to be to build up my hippodromes until there's about 1 turn remaining, research monarchy, and then chop them, buy a couple arenas, and just like that, you blink and I have an army of the most advanced, ruthless cavalry known to man. Just ask the Bulgars. Over here, I'm really not necessarily sure what I should be doing, considering the fact it seems like I've spawned towards more so the north of the map than anywhere else. Move this slinger back home, and this guy is essentially going to sit because there's not really much he can do, considering I'll need pottery in order to chop that, which I honestly might just go for immediately now that I think about it. Move the scout down south because we have about 2 more civs we need to meet, as well as another capital location I have to locate. You will skip your turn for quite a while now that I think about it. It's deity though, but this isn't necessarily the optimal start I would have hoped for, considering that I thought I'd be in a much more central position on the map. It's quite unfortunate now that I think about it. There's pottery, which means I can finally get a little bit of gold, as it seems like Qin Shi Huang's trying to get a little gold raiding my capital city. We will not allow that, however. We will stand strong and hopefully not die immediately. The good news is we are making about 3 great profit points per turn and should be able to secure the first one fairly easily as we finally get to another civilization. You absolutely love to see it. I'm not necessarily too worried about Qin Shi Huang. I don't give a fuck about Delicate Arch. It's not as if I'll be able to settle it, and even if I was, I would much rather not, considering how dog shit of a world wonder it is. Shut the fuck up, Simon Bolivar. In about 10 turns, you'll be turned into a footnote in history. Let's meet the next civilization. It's Bull Moose Teddy so far, aside from Gran Colombia. Not necessarily anyone that's really a threat militarily now that I would say. We're going to hopefully go ahead and try to secure as many city locations as possible, although considering the fact I'm sort of hemmed in, it's not looking too good for me at this point. Got a solid city over there. Perhaps even thread the needle in that city. That is a beautiful city right there. I think my panties need some changing right now. That or I just shit myself. Let's go ahead and get that over there. That's absolutely beautiful, and I think that's more than enough cities for us to secure our strategy as of this moment. Keep going, of course. There's a classical era. I did not secure the Golden Age, meaning we're going to need early empire damn near immediately. There's another natural wonder that I'm not going to be able to settle, as everyone around me seems to be in a Golden Age. No, I have them exactly where I want them. Let's go ahead and build 4 settlers. There is no way I don't get the first religion, so at the very least we can get Crusade fairly easily. Now there is about 1 more civilization that we do have to meet, and I will of course send this warrior to go ahead and hopefully find the... Actually, I'll probably just send the scout. He seems to be in a much better position. Find the capital. I already know Gran Colombia's capital is there. Shut the fuck up, Bull Moose Teddy. And then the last Chinese capital is going to be up there. Of course, the strategy we're going to have to go for, of course, is going to be speed. We're going to have to chop out our units in 1 turn and then immediately send them to the opposition. I think we'll probably go for killing a few units before then converting the enemy cities to our religion, so we'll be able to bust through walls. As a little known fact, but in Byzantine history, whenever they were attacking an enemy civilization that followed their own religion, their horseman's head is replaced by pure titanium that can puncture any sort of defenses in the pre-modern era. Unless, of course, it's Ottoman defenses. I'm not necessarily sure they do too well against those. But hopefully we'll be able to find the last civ. Gran Colombia should have met them already. Yes, they have. We are getting our settlers now, which is fantastic, and early empire is going to allow us to go colonization. Governor title will allow us to go provision so we don't consume population. And then this scout is, hey, there's the last civilization, Victoria, Age of Empire, the dogshit one. And London is right there, just ready to be lubed up. Should probably be careful of what I say. I mean, not gonna lie, with the state of YouTube today, it wouldn't necessarily, I guess, behoove me to be saying words like that, considering they could probably arrest me and then Jeffrey Epstein me by making me commit suicide by chopping my own head off before shooting myself in the back with about 4 shotgun slugs and then throwing myself into the River Thames, so I'm probably going to have to try to clean up my potty mouth, I suppose. Okay, I guess, fuck you, Qin Shi Huang. But I guess, yeah, I guess it's just fuck me, I guess. Just form a protective wall around where I want to settle, I'd love to settle in this city, you stupid fucking game, aside from the fact that that is an absolute dogshit city spot. I honestly, if I had the brain power of an AI, I'd probably be the dumbest motherfucker alive. My IQ wouldn't just be room temperature, it would probably be the pinnacle of low. If zero's like, okay, well I almost didn't get a religion, holy shit. But if IQ was based on the dumbest person alive got a 0, then the AI for Civ 6 is definitely at a -15. Let's go Eastern Orthodoxy. Well, I guess work ethic isn't the worst thing in the world, and then Crusade right here is just goodness gracious, my god. 10 combat strength is essentially an era ahead, which is nothing short of sensational. Just as this defensive work by the AI is sensational, what the fuck are you guys doing? Please get out of the way and just let me settle the city. We're about 58 turns in, and I am about to settle my second city. As you can see, I am the zenith, the pinnacle, the mountaintop of what any Civ 6 player attempts to reach. Really don't know what to do here. I don't know why I haven't finished researching animal humpingry yet, so I guess I'll wait a turn for that. We'll get that, and then hopefully, yep, there's craftsmanship. We don't really need any strategic resources, so I'm not necessarily too worried about that. That is a grassland hills. I don't know if we want to chop that immediately. I think we move one more down, and the AI with the Golden Age is going to prove a formidable opponent, undoubtedly, but I'm fairly certain we'll be able to handle. Seems that Driptro has went through here and flooded the entire place with his, well, drip. Fairly self-explanatory, but we could just do something like that. Do a little bit buffoonery over there. Claim native land up there for the right of manifest destiny, perhaps. And then we'll just go ahead and settle. I would about T-minus 5 seconds away from completely reverting everything the anti-Asian hate campaign has ever done. I am just livid at this moment. What? I swear to God, China. I hope Trump becomes president again just so we can go through another trade war with you fucks. I am absolutely livid at this moment. I am about 3 seconds away from making Hitler look like the pinnacle of human acceptance and decency. I am... Go fuck yourself, Victoria. I really don't know what this play is going to be here, considering the fact that I'm hemmed in. Even worse than student housing in the middle of sub-Saharan Africa. Well, not sub-Saharan Africa. I'm not even trying to be racist there. My dad told me a story about how it was him and like 20 guys just snuggling up together every night in his like dorm room in the middle of the Sahara Desert. No, I'm not joking, as we get the city of Antioch. We'll go ahead and immediately just wet my panties a little bit before switching over to the monument. But it is extremely strange, because unlike most stories where your parents tell you they trekked across the Underground Railroad just to get to school, my dad was goddamn herding goats when he was growing up, so I'm fairly certain that I'm a little bit short in the chromosome department, considering I accidentally clicked my slinger to go back over there, but fairly certain his stories are fairly, accurate, I suppose. Let's try to get a city-state ally. The city-state of Armagh. Singapore, perhaps. I do think Singapore would be a... Well, I kind of want a little bit of exploration going on first, so Cardiff would be the optimal option at this point, aside from the fact that I can't really get them as a city, so I'll just get Singapore at this point, honestly. We do need a few more settlers, hopefully, as it seems like the Chinese are coming after my rectum fairly quickly, so we are going to have to be a little bit careful of that. I will, of course, allow them to go to this tile because it will take them a while just to, I guess, attacking across the river while you are on floodplains is optimal defensive location. Let's hit next turn right now. No. I am absolutely flabbergasted, China. I was not expecting that. Let's go ahead and do a huge amount of damage. I don't really want to lose this guy, so I will fortify him before going battle cry. And then you will, of course, attack this guy. Excellent. And then you will, of course, stay fortified as well, and we'll hit next turn. See what happens over here. That skirmisher decided to tickle my butthole a little bit, so we will be able to hopefully do quite a bit of damage to him, as it seems like he's brought in his city-state's allies. Of course, Cahokia's got a larger military than I've ever built in my entire life, so this should be an entertaining game to watch. See what happens over here. Cahokia's doing the excellent strategy of running around looking like a headless chicken. The good news is we will be able to convert a giant amount of the AI cities, so that's fantastic. Let's go ahead and see if we can finagle some of the AI into giving me gold. Not enough gold, unfortunately, though, as you stay fortified. So up the city-state of Cahokia, yep, they're still deciding not to really do too much, which is fantastic. The good news is we will, however, be able to convert potentially a couple more cities. As, yep, it seems we are doing a fairly good job converting everything, which is substantial for our current objectives, as it seems like Singapore's coming in on our side. Absolutely love to see that, as we get multiple promotions for us, and then we're just going to go around, probably kill a few more units, just so we can convert even more cities. There's our next settler. I'm just going to say fuck it and move him right to where that barbarian scout is located. A risky play for sure, but nothing that can't stop us. Go for a shrine at this point. Excuse me, I almost threw up in my mouth there a little bit, although that is the classic Civ life. Actually, we could take the city of Chengdu. Oh my goodness, I just realized that this is prime real estate for me. Again, might makes right in this world, and I am about to completely make right. And I have Crusade. Oh goodness me, I have Crusade. That is essentially a cheat button. I don't care about that minor defeat. Give me it. Not exactly the proper grammar I would use in this situation, but still good enough. It's time to press on full steam ahead. The city of Chengdu will be ours. Unless, of course, Singapore thinks he's grown. There's the city surrounded, although we have to be very, very careful at this stage, considering the fact that, oh my goodness, I love this game so much. Whenever I go to sleep at night, I don't have wet dreams. I have dreams of dominating, committing genocide in Civilization 6. I wake up and the sticky area in my pants has somehow reached my butthole, which is quite strange. The logistics of that does scare me a little bit, but I'll take it. And we do have to be careful here, of course, considering the fact that Singapore could just as easily take the city. I'm gonna make sure they can't get another unit in at this point. Singapore, if you take that city, I will gladly commit multiple war crimes against you as we get another holy site. See what happens over here. They've decided to try spreading Catholicism as they're trying to get on their knees and offer me their pleasure woman to get me to stop. And it seems like Singapore has survived by the skin of their hair on their nutsack. We'll go oligarchy, of course. We'll go conscription up through there. We'll go urban planning. You absolutely love to see all that. And we'll get the monument in that city. That's beautiful. Let's go ahead and savor this moment as we've completely defied, I guess, early game logic, just like this guy's beard has defied the laws of matter and completely taken the city of Chengdu for ourselves. Now, I am going to keep moving, of course, considering the fact that I could completely convert all enemy cities to me just by killing a few of their units, as it seems like the barbarian encampment in the Stone Face clan has, well, they're about to do unspeakable things to the populace if I let them, so let's try not to let them. Washington's going to be a little bit of a difficult civ to take out, although overall we are in a fairly substantial location. I think for this strategy, I might honestly just take out the Coupe, just because of the fact that his capital is probably a one-time— oh my goodness, why did I do so much damage? What the fuck? Battlecry, taxis, oligarchy, I'm just stacking all the bonuses here. But his capital's probably out in the middle of the ocean, and that's not exactly what I had in mind for this strategy. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of damage over there, and then here in Istanbul or Constantinople, depending on your political affiliation, is going to probably get started. I'd love a government plaza, but it just seems so useless at this stage of the game. We'll go ahead and get ourselves a trader at this moment, as we are probably T-minus 10 seconds away from the barbarians putting me on a shirt at this stage. Yeah, I might declare war on some city-states to convert my religion now that I think about it. Well, we're going to be able to secure a free builder. We're probably going to need a couple more of those guys, considering I wasn't able to get the government plaza out in force. My 9 science per turn definitely has the AI up awake at night. I'll go for okay, why do I need masonry? I am employing an army full of cavalry units. I do not need masonry. We'll go down to apprenticeship, as this scout looks like, yeah, I'll probably have to back out over there. I just realized the last era I could have easily taken the convert cities to your religion, giving you 2 era score, and that would have put me in a golden age, but I guess my chromosomes were on powered saver mode today. I did see, okay, well, I thought I saw a free settler. A little unfortunate. We'll keep you fortified. The Immortals will try to attack me with range, but I'm really not too worried about them in the grand scheme of things. My defensive posturing is nothing short of exquisite. I will make sure to get the Convert Religion one this time, though. Exodus of the Evangelists. Well, it seems the Crouching Tiger has been instilled into service, which is a little bit unfortunate, all things considered. I think the best way to counter this is probably to get some decent ranged units of my own, of course. We'll make a trade with Teddy Roosevelt. Then we could go ahead and buy ourselves an archer. And then with Singapore here, of course, we could still do quite a bit of damage. Now, the Crouching Tiger does do a lot of damage, considering my city's combat strength is about 15. Not as much damage as the barbarian encampment to my southern flank, of course, but that is a story in a different entirety. Should still be able to do quite a bit to it, although there is a decent chance we lose the city, so I think the best way to play this is to take out the warrior first, convert 2 more cities to my religion, god I love this game, and prep for the anal play next turn. Here, maybe move there and take out this guy. I don't get any conversions by taking out barbarians, unfortunately, so there goes that strategy, and this scout here can just fortify until you can go back in. Yeah, we'll definitely have a Golden Age third time around as the Crouching Tiger decided to move for some reason. Yep, of course, yep, I'm the aggressor. I am the warmonger in this one. It's definitely my fuck you, Teddy. It was willing to join into the disaster despite the fact that it was me who was personally wronged by the Chinese aggression. I just took reparations. Here, though, we will go to probably Caracas just to get some more money. Well, it seems the Crouching Tiger did 72 damage to the enemy warrior, and the fact that he can't even one-shot the enemy warrior makes him just the Crouching Tiger, like, I don't think there's ever been a game where there's been a meta where there's just been such a dog shit unit. Like, the Crouching Tiger is by far the worst unit in Civilization 6. It's not even close. I'd rather have the goddamn quadrireme or bireme replacement that the, I shall accept your deal. That whatever her name, that Dido has, and have to deal with the goddamn Crouching Tiger. Goodness me. That might be a form of psychological torture now that I think about it, as Cardiff has been taken by Gran Colombia. That's nice to see, I suppose, as Preslav is now a city-state, which kind of sucks. I wanted to take that encampment for myself. Let's go ahead and do some damage to this immortal and prove that he actually is mortal. Get some more experience from that, and just like that, we have spread our religion out a little bit, of course, making a decent bit of faith per turn. And all we have to do is get the hippodromes, hopefully, before we can prep for our massive push to Monarch. We have hippodromes, never mind. It seems Simon Bolivar has begun a fisting campaign of epic proportions against England, of course taking Leeds and Bradford, solidifying her as probably the worst civ in the entire game. Special session, they want me to go one-on-one against Simon Bolivar's Dong. I'd rather not. There we go. There's mathematics as well as recorded history. I think we probably do that instead of colonization. Thank God this isn't a regular game. I would be absolutely boned considering how hemmed in I am and can only have like 2 cities max. Whatever the case, let's go ahead and take that guy out. And then over here, I think probably going for Owls of Minerva. We could go urban planning up there, and then for the wild card slot, we could just go. The good news is, Teddy does not have a religion, so we can slither in and convert him to the good word of, I think it's Eastern Orthodoxy I've selected for this game. Switch out the hippodrome into the shrine, and then we'll go ahead and chop out most of it. I pretty much have hippodromes everywhere except for my capital city, needs 7 population. And, okay, listen, you fucking shitheads, you better not have tried to convert my capital city, else I will commit multiple atrocities against Uranus. We need more culture more than anything, so we'll do that, and then just in case, I think I'll buy another missionary, just in case they do end up converting my capital. Going to keep everyone fortified, considering you're all going to be useless, since I'm going to be going for a pure Tagma rush. There we go, we can now finally secure the hippodrome in about 3 turns, and from that I think we are fairly ready. All we are going to need to wait on is going to be the technology of, I think it's monarchy, so we'll build 2 temples. It shouldn't be too hard after we get theology. I'm going to do that everywhere. There's theology. I can now plug in scripture to hopefully give me a decisive advantage in the religious race. Also queue up the temple, chop this out, and then we will probably queue up the temple everywhere else. We need about 2 temples to get the boost. I'm fairly certain we could get it fairly quickly since we already almost have 1. And then from there the timer's really gonna start. And there is Divine Right. Finally research, go military tradition for the flanking bonuses. Then it's time to get out these bad boys. The turn timer starts technically now, so I have until turn 152 to conquer every single capital and win a domination victory. Am I going to do it? Perhaps. Is it going to be easy? Of course not. The strategy I'm looking at, Teddy should be extremely easy. I'll need 2 Tagmas there, probably 2 Tagmas toward China. The biggest problem is, of course, going to be Gran Colombia, considering all the defenses he has to his capital. Although his capital might not even have walls, which would make things extremely easy. Not only that, but the English should also be another easy one. Again, I could probably declare war right now and take out a couple of units if we're being completely honest here. But, yeah, we'll go ahead and start just building arenas everywhere. And turn 152 is going to be the time. I probably should write that down somewhere now that I think about it. Turn 152. There we go. If I don't end up getting it, that would be quite unfortunate for the thumbnail. So over here, I think we'll probably send this Tagma up there. We will go ahead and build arenas everywhere, of course. build arenas there, and I think the best strategy to do here, probably going to need 2 Togmas everywhere, and then Grand Columbia, of course. I think declaring war on England here and converting some of these cities to our religion is probably the superior option. Because of that, here in Thessalonica, I think I'll buy another arena over there. That's huge. And then we'll give away everything we have in order to get even more arenas, like, for example, right... How long does it take for you guys to produce arenas? Like, this guy here should probably buy an arena. And then these guys can begin moving towards Washington. I think 2 will be enough. These 4 here will work in tandem. We will first declare war and take out a huge portion of Elizabeth's army. And then from there we should be able to take out Grand Columbia. Zion, their capital's up here, so Zion should be extremely easy to convert now that I think about it. 5 population is not that much, and 2 Togmas should be more than enough to deal with that up there. But yeah, it's pretty much going to be the entire strategy. Let's hope I'm able to finish it in due time, I suppose. Here now in the city of Adrianople, you can just finish your commercial hub. We got to get that money out. Then, of course, these 2 should be enough to take out Washington. The good news is the floods sort of worked in my favor this time, and with military tradition, I can now go ahead towards the English, and I can declare war. In fact, if I could get a joint war with Pedro Pascal over here, I think that would be optimal. Well, it seems like you're still at peace with her, so I guess I'll go ahead and commit patriarchy, authority, or whatever the crime is against her. Do some damage over there. Do some damage like that. Wipe you out over there. Just like that, we've converted a couple cities to our religion, and though we will probably need another builder to sort of repair everything. Hippodrome doesn't really matter too much anymore since we've already converted. That's huge. Naval tradition. I'll move in the rest of my forces. I think 2 Togmas should be enough. Although I have been known to fail at math fairly frequently in my adult life. I think we'll probably also send this Togma, and then these 2 arenas will go up towards Zion, since it's an extremely easy city to take. Again, I don't think I'm counting Coupe in this one, just because his capital city is nowhere to be found at this point, and there's really not much I can do about that. Another good thing would be if I could just do enough damage to get a promotion for this guy, so we won't be out of battle for too long, I would hope. What if we do that into that? Major victory, huge. That gives me a promotion. That is beautiful. Let's move our way towards London, although we'll probably have to kill a few more units to convert that city. Then I think we do the same exact thing against America, who is at war with China at this point. Good news is we've already converted the city of Washington, and with Crusade, we're looking at a monstrous 67 combat strength at this point. Thing is, though, we will most definitely need those Togmas to get their lickety-split. Alright, a cataclysmic eruption. That is exactly what I wanted to see right now. Let's go ahead and hopefully make a few more trade deals. Nothing really too crazy, it seems. Alright, I think I'm gonna have to call it there because, well, my Togmas may be extremely strong. I don't think they're strong enough to deal with man-at-arms at turn 140. The AI's just completely overtaken me. He has like 50 different cities. Coupe's capital's nowhere to be found. Washington's going pretty good, not gonna lie. But the fact is, Simon Boulevard did such unspeakable atrocities to the English. They have no units for me to, like, take out. Like, all their units they have are, like, in these fortified cities, so I can't even take out units to convert their capital city, which is quite unfortunate. And then China would be extremely easy to take. I could just move a force up there, but there's zero chance I'm going to be able to not only complete this goal, I guess I found Coupe's capital over there, but that I'm going to be able to complete it in the time frame required. I do think the strategy has potential, though, so if you do want to see me repeat it, probably with an edited map next time. This one I think had way too much rough terrain. It had way too little settle locations for me. Although honestly, if I'm being honest, I probably should have done some damage to like Bandarbruni, Singapore, Cahokia, Johannesburg even, and then maybe even gotten a Petra City somewhere over here. But yeah, if you do enjoy, leave a like and subscribe to not miss out on future content, and let me know down below in the comments how ass cheeks I am at this game. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.